chain of events that saved all those people.
So what are we looking at in terms of down here on the ground, down here below the mountain level on Christmas?
You know, I think we could see some rain tomorrow, but beyond that, looks like dry weather. Good chance to try out that new bike.
Sunny weather, too.
Sunny weather, yeah, some sunshine.
That'll be nice. Enjoy it. We'll be back at 6.
The mystery of American Airlines Flight 965 out of Miami. Some survivors reporting today after the Boeing 757 plows into a mountain on approach to Cali, Colombia. Generation X and excess. Young Americans all charged up and already deep in debt. And the dish on the royal split. The Queen's in-game strategy for a Charles and Diana chuck your mate.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Good evening. A few lucky survivors were found today in the wreckage and rugged mountains outside the Cali, Colombia airport, where American Airlines Flight 965 went down late last night. Most of the people on board, about 160 passengers and crew, died in the crash, the first crash ever of a Boeing 757. Our coverage begins with Diana Gonzalez in Colombia.
The remains of the Boeing 757, its crew and passengers, are strewn across treacherous terrain in the Andes Mountains. Witnesses say part of the fuselage is lodged deep into the ground. It took hours for rescuers to reach the remote crash site. Miraculously, there were survivors. Accounts vary from 4 to 7. Among them, 19-year-old Mauricio Reyes, who was reportedly rescued by his older brother. It took rescuers 15 hours before they were able to start moving the injured off the mountain. But by late this afternoon, the search was halted due to bad weather. At first, it was believed no one survived the ill-fated Flight 965, which left Miami International Airport last night. 164 people were on board, bound for Cali, Colombia. It crashed minutes before it was scheduled to land. Audio tapes from the Air Traffic Control Center reveal Flight 965 was 37 miles from the Cali airport when it slammed into a mountainside near the city of Buga. That's where despondent family members gathered this afternoon. They were told to wait at the soccer stadium, where the bodies will be brought for identification. Some relatives are holding on to hope that their loved ones might be among the survivors. Disney Ceballos knew his sister and 2 nephews were among the victims. They were flying to Cali to celebrate Christmas with the family. Angelica Londano was supposed to be on that plane, but missed the flight.
Sad from the people that, but I'm lucky, yeah. I'm really happy.
The Kanalakis family of Rhode Island did get on board. A neighbor remembered wishing them goodbye.
We said goodbye. I gave him a hug. He said, happy holidays. I said, I'll say a prayer for a safe flight, which I guess God had other plans.
Colombian authorities say it will be days, possibly Christmas, before all the bodies can be removed from the wreckage. Diana Gonzalez, CBS News, Buga, Colombia.
This is Scott Pelley reporting. Sources tell CBS News the 757, like this one, apparently did not explode in the air. FBI agents at the scene have found the wreckage in one place, suggesting the aircraft was not bombed or shot down, which would have scattered debris over a much wider area. No conclusions have been drawn, but earlier today, the Attorney General discounted terrorism.
We do not have any initial information that could give us the basis for such a judgment, but we will be prepared.
The region is violent. Anti-U.S. guerrillas roam the countryside, and Cali is synonymous with cocaine. In 1989, narco-terrorists did bomb a Colombian jetliner near Cali, but U.S. experts doubt they would down an American plane.
They do so well without fully incensing the United States and the law enforcement system that I doubt very much that they would do it.
No 757 has ever crashed before. American says the pilot had been with American nearly 30 years, flew extensively to South America, and knew the approach to Cali like the back of his hand. Still, Colombian officials say the plane was 13 miles east of its flight plan. The final course of Flight 965 will be a principal focus of the investigation. Scott Pelley, CBS News, Dallas.
A footnote, the crash in Colombia is the deadliest involving an American airliner since Pan Am 103 exploded in the air over Lockerbie, Scotland 7 years ago to the day. On Capitol Hill, it's clear the stalemated budget negotiations will have to make a good deal of progress just to get back to where they were earlier in the week. And apparently, it's going to take even longer before federal employees forced out on involuntary furlough are back at work. Bob Schieffer reports who's responsible and why.
In the grip of biting cold, its showplace tourist attractions closed, thousands of government workers laid off, and retailers hurting, it is a bitter Christmas season in Washington. Republican negotiators and the White House Chief of Staff trudged to the Capitol to try again to put the government back to work. And it was an okay breakfast. But this picture of House Budget Chairman John Kasich told it all about how negotiations were going.
What have you accomplished, we're moving forward.
And White House Staff Chief Panetta did most of the moving, to no avail mostly, as partisan sniping got even worse.
The extremists on the Republican side are in control of this Congress right now.
We think that the president deserves only one thing for this Christmas, because he's not done his work. And that's a little coal that we'll put in the president's box this year.
Even at the Capitol Christmas tree, there was a partisan air as the Republican freshmen who are leading the drive to keep government closed until the president agrees to their budget plan gathered for a class photo.
We are looking forward to giving our children and grandchildren the greatest Christmas present they could possibly hope for, and that's to finally balance this budget.
But there is no joy at Capitol charities like Toys for Tots. With the government shut down, they've collected only half as many toys as usual, and contributions are way down at other charities as well. Senate Republican leader Dole said he's still hoping to find a way out of all this tomorrow when he and other congressional leaders meet with the president. But this has gone so badly so long, no one's taking any bets yet. Bob Schieffer, CBS News at the Capitol.
Still to come on the CBS Evening News, the final reckoning for Love Canal, America's worst toxic dump, and a Christmas toy story about America's most wanted woman.
You build a razor with a precision groove to help the Norelco lift and cut system shave closer than ever before. And what do you get? The Norelco razor, our closest shave ever.
Always brought me luck.
White Diamonds, the intriguing fragrance from Elizabeth Taylor.
NATO troops fanned out across Bosnia today, and while the main American ground force is still days away from entering, U.S. Army Apache helicopters flew in from their base in Germany. They'll be assigned to hover over U.S. troops and protect them as best they can be protected in the mountainous terrain. 20,000 U.S. ground troops will be responsible for keeping the peace in northeast Bosnia, along with 1,500 Russians, among others. As he's been doing regularly, CBS News correspondent Bob Simon ventured out in the American sector today to look at what the war did to one village.
Wars create legends and lies. Here's a tale that's true. Just below these clouds is Teocek, a Muslim village surrounded by Serbs. The Serbs wanted it badly. For 3.5 years, they hit Teocek with every weapon they had, the people say, except a submarine. Under a white December blanket, it's a gentle-looking place. There's lots of blue sky. You can see it from most any upstairs room. Rebuilding hasn't begun yet. People still shovel snow from their attics. Want to see the village border? Just follow the trenches. They'll lead you to the front line, to the commander of the Teocek Brigade.
Was he
here all the time?
Non-stop.
But at the beginning, there was no Teocheck Brigade, just farmers and hunters, fortunately. Those were the only weapons they had. The trails of blood led to the underground clinic, the busiest place in town. 500 people were killed here, 1,500 were wounded. That's 25% of the population. They weren't caught in some crossfire, and this was not collateral damage. The village was the target. Drive the Muslims out. Staying was winning. Everyone was mobilized, even the women in full combat roles. This was the scene here the day they took out their first Serb tank. They stayed, they won.
Why do you think you succeeded?
The Serbs relied on their weapons, says the mayor. All we had was courage. You won't get fancy answers from the villagers, nothing about multi-ethnic or human rights. Our land, our houses. That's what they say. That's why they fought.
And Teocheck's troubles may not be over. After Dayton, people here were delighted to learn they were in the American sector. That spelled liberation. But now they're beginning to hear the Russians are coming. They don't like that one bit.
What do you think about that? The Russians are pretty friendly with the Serbs. That's precisely the problem, he says, and if it works out that way, it'll be too bad not only for the village, but for the Americans, too. They could have told their grandchildren they'd been to Teocheck, a place with a funny foreign name that no one ever heard of, like Iwo Jima or Quezon. Bob Simon, CBS News, Teocheck.
In ancient Bethlehem, the war is over, but it isn't exactly a silent night. 10,000 Palestinians mobbed the city of David on the West Bank as the last Israeli soldiers pulled out, ending 28 years of occupation. Fireworks lit up the sky above Manger Square, the traditional birthplace of Jesus, as PLO troops moved in to take over. Russian troops are waging another bloody campaign in Chechnya. Muslim rebels have taken over key points in the second largest Chechen city, and the Russians are blasting the town with long-range artillery. More than 100 civilians have reportedly been killed. Britain's Prince Charles said today he, quote, has no intention of remarrying once he's divorced from Princess Diana. That would clear his way to the throne. The Church of England permits divorce, but frowns on remarriage. The Queen of England, Charles's mother, normally frowns on divorce too, but in this case, she'll make an exception, as correspondent Mark Phillips reports.
The storm clouds finally broke over Buckingham Palace today. The Queen had used the D word, telling her son after his public admission of adultery and her daughter-in-law after her public admission of adultery that the only way out was divorce.
It's been a farce for ages. Everybody knows it, and I just think it's the sooner finished, the better.
But while Charles, who kept his distance today, has let it be known he's ready for divorce, although he says he has no intention of marrying his longtime friend, Camilla Parker Bowles, Diana, hidden behind smoked glass, is holding out.
I don't want a divorce, but obviously we need clarity on the situation.
The betting is that the price of clarity is around $20 million.
It goes for granted. There'll be 10 or 15 million pounds. There will be free access to the children. But what she's really negotiating for is to preserve her royal status.
But as what? Diana sees herself as part supermodel, part Mother Teresa. But she's also the woman who made famous phone calls to a man who called her Squidgy.
They might let her retain the title of princess, and I suppose they could put it all together into a confection like Her Royal Highness the Princess Diana of Squidgygate.
And so the world's most famous dysfunctional family now launches the world's most famous divorce proceedings. There shouldn't be much fight over the record collection. Their taste in that are different, too. But there are the royal houses, the royal castles, the royal silver, and, of course, the royal children to consider. All a bit of a Christmas gift for the royal lawyers. In the meantime, the world can muse about how it all went so wrong and how there were hints right from the beginning.
And I suppose in love.
Whatever in love means.
Now we know. Mark Phillips, CBS News, London.
All clogged up? Can't breathe? Don't just treat your cold, unclog it. With Dristan Cold Tablets, it contains powerful medicines that unclog your cold while relieving sinus pain and pressure. So unclog your cold with Dristan.
Fibercon or Metamucil? Both give you the same predictable regularity, the same natural action of fiber. So what makes Fibercon different? With Fibercon, I get my fiber in 2 caplets. Fibercon, fiber regularity that's easier to take.
Look at this, Dick. These American Family big money winners are locked in a 5-way tie for top prize honors.
Yeah, they've all won $10 million prizes.
Now, you can break the tie by winning even more money, $11 million.
That's $1,000 a day, every day, year after year after year. In the only sweepstakes with our picture.
Don't miss it. The only one with our picture. You can win in just weeks.
And break the tie for top prize honors with the biggest prize yet.
$11 million.
He was a superbly trained Russian athlete living in America, filled with promise and ready for the big time, till he disappeared.
I think one thing is for sure, that he did not choose to disappear.
So why does a well-liked young man on the verge of greatness simply vanish? Where's Sergei? Tomorrow on the CBS Evening News.
Republicans in Congress and White House officials reportedly reached an agreement tonight to settle a subpoena battle and possible constitutional clash in court over the Whitewater investigation. Reluctantly, President Clinton has reportedly now agreed to turn over lawyers' notes of a key Whitewater meeting to House and Senate Republicans. For millions of Americans, the first awareness that toxic waste dumps could hit close to home can probably be traced to the 1970s and 2 words, Love Canal. But it took until today, a generation later, for the Occidental Chemical Company to agree to pay $129 million to clean up the site in upstate New York, where residents came up against toxic residues. Yet, even now, as Jim Stewart reports, it's not a clean finish.
The settlement essentially repays the government for putting an earthen lid over this wasted neighborhood in the hope of sealing a toxic waste site that even today defies description.
Orange goop, toxic soup is what it has been referred to. You had 80 different chemicals. I mean, some very bad stuff was in these people's backyards. It was literally seeping into their basements.
It all began 18 years ago when Love Canal residents started comparing family medical histories. Lois Gibbs got the ball rolling.
This is about the entire neighborhood. We're talking about children born with double rows of teeth, extra fingers, extra toes, women unable to have children, unable to carry them.
The trouble was soon traced to a nearby chemical plant which had buried nearly 22,000 tons of toxic waste in the old Love Canal during and after World War II. Residents at one point held federal workers hostage in order to get Washington's attention.
What the hell's wrong with you people?
The government bought out hundreds of homeowners, and the cleanup has been underway ever since. But the arguments haven't stopped, both over who should pay and whether, as some residents who stayed behind insist, the scare was an overreaction.
I'm 70-some years old. Do I look like I have problems?
Whether this is the final chapter or just another chapter in the Love Canal story remains to be seen. Anxious to entice new residents there, the city has recently been offering homes at 20% below market value. Thus far, they haven't had many takers. Jim Stewart, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up, young Americans with huge debt and why bank card companies seem to really want it that way.
Finally, great popcorn from your microwave. Presto Power Pop Microwave Multi-Popper. Pops virtually every kernel. Pop with oil, pop without oil. Nothing pops like Power Pop. That's why it's endorsed by Orville Redenbacher. From Presto.
Because the quality care standards take care of a customer's more than just fixing a car. Can you describe the noise? It's a little. It's about listening. It's about communication. It's about getting the customer more involved. We'll call you about 10:30, 11. How many miles do you have on the car? You have to ask the right questions. You have to let them know that you're committed. We want you to be a customer for life. Your key? And we thank you very much for doing business with us.
Quality care people, quality care standards at your Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer.
There are many prescription pain medicines, and a doctor can prescribe any of them. Yet 82% of doctors surveyed have prescribed Arudis. And now, for the first time, it's available in a non-prescription strength. New Arudis KT. It's so potent, just 25 milligrams is as effective as 400 milligrams of Motrin IB, 440 of Aleve, or 1,000 milligrams of extra-strength Tylenol. New Arudis KT, the potent medicine for pain.
I want to give her the check. You did it last time. It's my turn. We're the Prince Patrol, and you just won $1 million. I can't believe it.
Kids, I told you not to believe everything you see on TV.
I'll get it. Mom!
The Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes. Play it for real.
Hey, Remington. Shave this.
The Remington Triple Foil. The only shaver with 3 micro screens now has a 50% greater cutting rate. If you can grow it, we can shave it.
And for women, a silky smooth shave in or out of the shower. The Remington Wet Dry.
Shopping for holiday fashion bargains?
This is exactly the same shirt.
No, it's not.
Outlet prices too good to be true? What's the catch? 48 Hours investigates tonight.
Republicans in Congress and President Clinton are headed for another veto showdown, this time about what the Republicans call a major overhaul of welfare programs. The House voted along party lines to approve the Republican plan today. President Clinton says it, quote, includes deep cuts that are tough on children, and he will veto it. There's growing concern about the financial welfare of many Americans. Consumers are carrying almost $1 trillion in loans. The average American household is paying off $4,000 in credit card debt alone. And as Sandra Hughes reports now, no one is paying more than free-spending members of Generation X.
It was here, one Christmas past, in this cathedral of consumption, that Letty Corona first went astray.
I really didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Debt is what she got into, $3,000 worth that she's still trying to pay back.
I couldn't sleep. I was nervous. I really didn't know where I was going to get the money from.
Letty isn't alone. More so-called Generation Xers are discovering the dangers of plastic. Here in Southern California, the average credit card balance for the 20-something crowd went up 70% in the past 2 years.
Well, I think they're just creating a whole nother generation of, credit mongers.
They are the credit card companies that have sent Candy Finnegan's teenagers numerous credit card applications. Her son got his first, a pre-approved card at age 5. Most companies won't give a credit card to a minor without parental permission, but young people are clearly a target market. Using travel discounts and giveaways, companies rope in the new spender, hoping for a lifetime of loyalty. And it's working.
I applied for some gold cards I got, and voila, I ended up with 3 gold cards.
It's almost like an invitation to get in trouble.
An invitation the University of Southern California is starting to turn down, restricting card companies' access to the campus.
It's just so easy to take that card and throw it down. It's like free money almost until the bill comes and you're shocked.
The major credit card companies tell CBS News most young people are responsible, and using a card is a great way to establish a good credit history.
I was irresponsible.
Or a great way to destroy your credit rating, says Letty Corona. So this Christmas, she's window shopping. Sandra Hughes, CBS News, Redondo Beach, California.
When we come back, the face is familiar, and so is the figure. So why can't anybody find her?
Ed, you travel a lot.
All across America, big cities, small towns.
And you meet lots of people, right?
Everywhere I go.
What do they say about our sweepstakes?
They all ask the same thing. When are you going to hand me the $10 million prize?
And now you can say...
How about $11 million? That's $1,000 a day, every day, year after year after year. You can get rich this fast.
Be sure to enter the only sweepstakes with our picture. You may have the $11 million winning number right now.
Oh, it's huge!
Yeah, it's true. People prefer the taste of Crispix Mix to the usual party mix. But does that really make a difference?
Look at the time.
I've got to get to my aerobics class.
Right. She's got a headache. Crispix Mix has a special recipe, that unique Crispix cereal look.
More Crispix Mix?
And that exceptional taste guests prefer. So this year, make Kellogg's Crispix Mix and party on.
Hi, honey. I just want you to know that I was wrong. I love you.
I can't seem to forget you. Your ringtone stays on my mind.
Something's been overlooked in the design of women's razors. The woman. But there's one razor that adjusts to your legs and underarms, even bikini line. Norelco Silhouette, the first razor designed to shave a woman where a woman shaves.
If you've been drinking Ensure, there's a little something you should know. Sustacal has more protein, less fat, and about twice as much calcium. No, Sustacal can't add years to your life, but it might help add life to your years.
With Christmas almost here, parents across the land are getting really worried. They're searching high and low and even surfing the internet for the only gift their daughters want. But in most every case, the hunt is to no avail, as we hear from Peter Van Sant.
In toy stores across America, shoppers are frantically searching for an 11.5-inch woman who's become the hottest Christmas gift.
Holiday Barbie.
Are you all hoping for one under the tree? But many little girls are going to feel like they've been Grinched come Christmas morn. Not even Santa can find Happy Holiday Barbie, this big hair, big dress, plastic princess.
The demand is crazy. We're getting phone calls all the time for it.
No, sir, I'm sorry at all.
Unfortunately, we don't have it in stock.
Sources say Barbie's creator, Mattel, made more than 1 million of the holiday dolls. But as soon as they hit the stores, supplies from Jersey to Japan disappeared.
Happy Holiday has been a major success for Mattel. They can't produce enough of them, and it's helped to increase the demand for all other Barbie doll products around the holidays.
There is one holiday Barbie doll available in most stores. It's the African-American Barbie. Last year, she was sold out. Desperate Barbie buyers are searching online, helping to create a holiday Barbie underground. Scalpers are getting $85, even $175 for a doll that normally sells in the stores for about $35.
You can double up on them quickly. They pay $35, they can be sold for $70 right now.
Dan Huth, with his 26 holiday Barbies, is among a new breed of investors who are cashing in on the Barbie market.
People might be looking at this and saying, I'm a jerk for trying to sell them for $60, but or $75. But, you know, everybody does something for a living. This is what I do.
They're opportunists, piranhas, barracudas.
Carmen Tickle runs a Barbie shop in Mason City, Iowa. She doesn't like speculators, but she's also fed up with fanatical Barbieites who badger her for dolls.
It's like, reality check, hello. This is a Barbie doll.
Barbie dressed for swim and fun is only $3.
A simple doll that cost just $3 in 1959, but is now the world's most sought-after plastic princess. Peter Van Sant, CBS News, New York.
And that's part of our world. I'll be back later tonight with 48 Hours, Behind the Seams, Secrets of the Fashion Industry. That's at 10/9 Central Time. And tomorrow on CBS This Morning, Harry Smith will link troops in Bosnia by satellite with their loved ones here in the CBS studios. For the CBS Evening News, Dan Rather reporting. I'll see you again soon on